It's important everyone knows that all Christians and religions across the world do not believe in reincarnation. The first thing Christ learnt for 4.5 years was reincarnation and the reincarnation trap, life after life in Egypt. It's a known fact. There's plenty of videos made about this, and also Stephen Quayle and a lot of prophets, right, real genuine scholars, right, they pulled the oldest Bibles out, and there's a lot of information about this in 100 books from the books of Enoch. Plenty of evidence about this, right? Also the Ethiopian Bible. You know, Christ said, I'm son of Abraham, I'm son of man, I'm son of Abraham. You know, John the Baptist rolled out of prison, right? Okay, with fire coming in his mouth, right? And what was he? Elijah in spirit. So he came back in Elisha's spirit, right? Okay, so he woke up from amnesia as well in prison, right? We learned the truth and came out of prison with the truth to masses, just like John did, who wrote Revelation, and he disappeared in the fiery chariot as well. Okay, just like Christ did. Didn't Christ speak resurrection? Didn't he resurrect? Didn't he bring 3 other people back to life? So hang on a minute. 3 people died, and he brought them back to life, right? One was dead for 3 days. Christ was also dead for 3 days, right? Okay, now, Madonna and the sun in the Bible, Osiris Nimrod, did he not reincarnate into the all-seeing eye of Horus, the sun, Madonna's son? Yeah. So when Christians, pastors and priests, let me tell you something. There's plenty of documentaries made about people, right, that were stuck in a reincarnation trap and came back. A lot of people in this world today still knows about their life before. In 2009, in 1989, in the Kempsey bus accident, 36 people died in the biggest road accident that stopped Australia. My brother's on one of those buses where 20 people died, including his wife. He didn't know any people on that bus except for his wife. He flatlined after 3.5 weeks coma, and Dr. Wright, one of the biggest surgeons in the world, the first heart and lung transplant surgeon in the world, that owns his own ward at the top of PA Hospital, where Queensland Mental Health is, right? The headquarters. The top psychiatrist and himself monitored my brother and put a big article in the paper as one of the biggest miracles ever seen in history, right? A doctor at the top level, one of the most dedicated physicians in the world, and the head of Queensland Mental Health Ward, that gives him a clean mental health bill. What did my brother say after he flatlined? What did he say? For 10 days, he said goodbye to 19 people. He only knew his wife, except for the driver responsible for the accident. What did his wife say that said in the paper? What did it say in the paper that his wife said? His wife said, written in the paper by Dr. Wright and the psychiatrist, in one of the biggest miracles recorded, they said they verified every name he said goodbye to was the first name of every person that died in the bus except for the driver. They said on the front page of the Courier Mail spread, in the biggest road accident in Australian history that stopped the country, one of the biggest physicians in the world, right, one of the biggest psychiatrists of the Queensland Mental Health Board. What did they say in the paper? They said Kathy said, his wife, she went to that beautiful place we call heaven. She said the driver went to the abyss. The other 18 came back and getting one more final chance, getting one more chance, trapped inside the skull, right? And no one believes in the most powerful evidence that created modern history on the front page of the paper in the Brisbane Courier Mail, that God created this evidence with me. You don't believe in that? Go and talk to my brother. When he flatlined, he didn't talk to me for 27 years. On the 27th of January 2017, exactly 27 years later, from the day that Kathy said goodbye to him, he was in a coma for 3.5 weeks, then he said goodbye to people, right, for 10 days. From the 22nd of December 1989 to the 27th of January 1990, exactly 27 years later. Exactly 27 years later, on my son's birthday. On my son's birthday, he tells me when I said, Yan, God said, you have to tell me why you have not spoken to me barely for 27 years since Kathy died. My brother went, trapped inside his skull, trapped in his consciousness. Consciousness is very dangerous, you know, when you're trapped in your consciousness. The mind's very dangerous. in the skull. You know why? Because you're literal, psychological, and you've got a book relationship, and you don't have any divine intervention. This is one of the biggest miracles and divine intervention that takes part in my life. With many divine interventions, with the biggest documents ever created on the very same day. That's funny. On the same day, I go through 6 international events at Brisbane Airport on this day, my son's birthday, with the most powerful evidence recorded by border security, with a massive intervention, divine intervention recording the documents on the same day. Jan's got amnesia, trapped in a skull, right? And I wake him up from amnesia. He goes, I remember Kim. I remember Kim. Yeah, what? He said, do you remember Flatline? Do you remember when I came out the coma Flatline, Kim? I said, yeah. He said, Kim, I went to that beautiful place and I saw Kathy, the love of my life. She said I had to come back because you, Kim. I had to come back because of you, Kim. I had to come back because of you, Kim. I had to come back because of you, Kim. You see, God sent him back because of me. God sent him back because of me. And he was trapped in his skull with amnesia for 27 years until this moment. And then he woke up and realized why he didn't talk to me for 27 years, because he didn't even know. Just like nobody else knows when they have amnesia. And he had amnesia and didn't even know, because he's an atheist. And most people think with an atheist still in their consciousness. And that's what happens when you're trapped in your mind, your consciousness. You're developed so you don't know what your interventions are. You're developed so you don't understand the tools you have. Just like my brother, trapped inside the skull. He dies, he flatlines, he goes to heaven, he gets sent back and then goes back to his mind. Just like every Westerner does, with their self-centered, egotistical behavior, and they don't have a relationship. They've got a book-smart relationship and they're trapped in their skull, just like my brother is. We know that in 98.7% of the whole human population. Christians and pastors preach Christ was the son of Abraham and he learnt reincarnation, woke up from amnesia at 24 and discovered his tools, his ancestral tools, code in his DNA. That's why every pastor and priest don't teach this, because they can't break people from the mind trap themselves, because they're controlled by literal behavior and a book-smart relationship. That's why not one of them can bring people through the divinity and wake them up from amnesia to discover who they really are so they can do what Christ can more. Not one of them teaches these tools. Christ said, go back to your childhood. You can do what I can more if you follow my footsteps. And we teach it the best. We can't rely on pastors and priests that says, reincarnation doesn't exist. That's why they keep coming back in the reincarnation trap. They never get to the light in the tunnel. They keep coming back with amnesia. Amnesia means they don't know. Well, it was only 150 years ago, but that was not a secret. There's still pastors and priests that know this today. You can get stuck in purgatory. Even the Vatican knows that. Even the Vatican knows. You can get trapped in purgatory because that's where these people said goodbye to my brother. They were in purgatory in the middle and got sent back one more final opportunity. The Vatican knows that. But pastors and preachers and Christians all over the world, they don't. They're trapped inside their mind. That's why they never make it. They keep coming back, just like everybody else does in the reincarnation trap.